Hey, this is Brett the Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Smack Raw Podcast NXT recap episode. I am your weekly host, SCS Vince. Today we back the dynamic duo Chicago Thunder. I'm here with my boy, my buddy, my man, one half of the PWX Tag Team Champions, Mr. J Thunder himself. How's it going, my man?
It is going great. To be quite honest with you, I'm happy. I feel good. I look good. So I'm happy. I'm pretty good.
Hey, speaking of looking good, why don't you stand up real quick and show us that Urban America shirt?
This shirt?
That rare commodity that will never see the light of day because of some trap.
That Urban America shirt?
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
We need to...
Ooh,
I'm gonna try to boycott to make sure that this happens.
Dude, if you guys are listening on the audio realm, go ahead and check out the YouTube video around this mark, the 1 minute mark, so you can check out that Urban America shirt. 1,000 chef kisses. It is beautiful. But
funny thing about that is that we're trying, even though we could not get it on the main stage of our actual promotion, we're trying to move somewhere else.
Okay.
So hopefully, Urban America coming soon. By the way, guys, July is gonna be awesome because I started back wrestling again, so it's gonna be awesome.
That's great to hear, man. That's great to hear. We can't be any more excited to see where we can find any more of your J Thunder wrestling. We want to see more of you, but if you want to see more of us in the meantime, make sure you check us out on youtube.com/SmackRaw Podcast. If you want to download the audio podcast, go ahead and hit up our link tree /SmackRawPod. All our stuff is on there, our Facebook, our Discord, our IG. Yes, we have an IG. Go ahead and look us up. Twitter, like I said, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz.
You know those places.
Yeah, but you could also find us. You can also find us on WrestlingNewsWorld.com. We upload a daily, almost daily wrestling recap for all the main U.S.-based wrestling shows. You can also check out live coverage of the wrestling shows on the website. Amazing articles, and they're gonna have a charity event for the first responders July 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and check that out. Look it up. WrestlingNewsWorld.com for more information for that charity. And SmackDown Podcast is very excited to be part of that. It should be a really good card. We will definitely check it out. We might even cover it on the podcast. We don't know. But yeah, that's the plugs. Go ahead and find our socials and all that stuff. Let's get into NXT, man. What you thought of the show?
Oh man, you know what? I actually thought it was actually really good. Like, one of the things that I was I guess it was kind of a slow. It wasn't really like all that much action as much. It felt like all the action was more so towards the middle of the show, end of the show. But not only that, I was hoping I would have saw EO at least,
especially after how she closed off the show last week. You would have figured she'd be more in.
I was hoping EO would have popped up or something, just because of the fact that everyone's talking about oh, I want the title, I'm coming for you, EO, this and that, and I guess I was just surprised that it wasn't much of the NXT Women's Champion around.
Yeah, they try to cram a lot of stuff in there, like you were saying, and you mentioned to start off the show. Like the first half kind of felt like they were trying to squeeze in as many things as they could before they got to the main event. They gave the main event, I want to say, like a good 30 minutes, which is good because it was a really good match. But there were some other really good matches in here too. So let's start off with the first thing that we saw. Immediately, we get to footage that happened earlier in the day, and it was Cameron Grimes walking away from the scene of the crime, so to speak. He was like, oh, he's over there, he's faking, he got beat up or something. And we see Damien Priest.
He got beat up. I don't know what happened. Oh man.
Freaking love Cameron. Love him. I love him. He's so good at getting under your skin, man. It's great. So we see Damien Priest. He's injured. He's hurt. He got beaten up. He got attacked. Right. So then we cut back to a Full Sail, and Cameron Grimes comes out to the ring, gets inside the ring, gets the mic, and basically asks the ref to call the match and give him the win via forfeit. Calls Priest a coward because he took on Finn Balor with a broken jaw and he didn't run away from a challenge, which is just him rewriting his own like history. Like, he's remembering things wrong. He was cowering away from that match no matter what. But I liked it. It was a good heel cocky stuff. Damien Priest does make his way to the ring. He's beaten up. He's bruised. The medical team, the refs, all the officials, they're trying to convince him to not go forward with the match. And you can see he's hurt. He's selling the injury. He's got taped up ribs the entirety. I thought it was cool. He wasn't even in ring gear. He was just in black jeans. He's like, I don't care. I want to get this guy. I thought the match was really good, even though it was relatively quick. What are your thoughts?
I thought for what it was really good. It was real. I mean, granted, it was really quick, but for what it was really good. Like, surprisingly, it was really good, and I loved Damien Priest's selling. I loved it a lot. Like, you could really feel like, you know, he was in the shits. You felt when he hit that, I don't know, it was that sit down choke slam. God, I felt that. I was like, ooh, because like when you hit that choke slam and you're going down, right? He went with a sit down, so all that pressure is going up. So it's like, oh, good lord, exactly. Like, wow. So, but like either way, I love the selling. I loved everything about the match. I wish that it would have been a healthier Damien Priest, so I could see a really good match. Right. But it was a decent match for it to start off the show.
I mean, yeah, for sure. And it was a protected loss for Damien Priest. You know, you could always chalk it up to he was not 100% like you were saying. They could always run this match back with a more arrogant, cocky Cameron Grimes. And they're building it up. Like, they're building up this little, like, mini feud between the two of them. I think at the end of the day, it is going to be Damien Priest that walks away with a victory in the feud. But he didn't walk away with the victory in this match. He gave Cameron Grimes some work. He gave him all the go he could in the ring. I like the spot where Cameron Grimes like, you know what? I don't need this. He fakes trying to retreat from the match. Priest goes out to try to prevent him from doing that. It was just a ruse. He was playing possum. He attacks Damien Priest. He attacks the broken ribs again, or busted ribs or whatever. And he hits the cave-in on the outside. It looked vicious. It looked like it hurt. They went back into the ring. He tried to set up for a second cave-in, gets reversed, but he eventually does hit the cave-in like almost immediately after the initial reverse.
I don't know about you, bro, but that cave-in and outside the ring looked deadly.
Hey, if this was Falls Count Anywhere, the match would have ended right then and there.
Yeah, because to be quite honest with you, oh my god.
And the way the NXT has their padding, it's different than main roster or even AEW. It looks so thin, and it looks like it's actual like concrete floor or like just like.
God, I was like, ooh.
I mean, in your wrestling career, have you ever had to take a bump on the outside on like the floor with no padding, or have you taken it with padding? Like, has that ever been a thing for you?
I'm trying to think to myself, have I done that?
I mean, you're a pretty big guy. It's hard for me to believe that you'd take a bump for somebody on the outside.
I think I've only taken a bump outside if someone's like jumped. Okay. Like if someone's done a dive, I think that's the only time that I've ever taken a bump outside. I'm trying to think. Like, no, I don't think there's ever been a time where I've actually taken a bump outside. Because to be quite honest with you, any place that we have done shows, they don't have any padding.
Right.
There are like some places that have, but majority of the time they don't have padding. And most of our shows that were like in the city, we did them at for you Chicago people, if you guys know where Guerin Prep High School is, that's north suburb. Well, not north suburbs, but it's north side. It's not too far away from River Grove or O'Hare. It's not too far away from over there, but it's a Catholic school, and we would do it in their gym, but we would have no padding, so it's like
that's what she said.
So they would have no padding, and we would land on the hardwood floor of the basketball court.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because that's what I figured, man. I figured you hadn't taken too many bumps.
No, not yet, at least.
We'll see. There's still time. So speaking of time, we get a little bit of time with Ria Ripley. She starts to get interviewed about like Io Shirai saying that this is her NXT. Ria is complimenting her. It's like, yeah, like look at her right now. Like, who am I to argue that this is not her NXT currently? Because she's kind of a little bit like going through a crisis of confidence, so to speak. Robert Stone does not give up, apparently. He will not take no for an answer, and unfortunately, that is not a good thing to do right now. Just no. If the lady says no, Robert Stone, just back the fuck off.
No means no. No means no.
So Ria, like I said, Robert Stone confronts her, tries to get her to like join the Robert Stone brand again. She refuses. She goes and tosses him into the dumpster again. Aliyah comes out and gets in her face and slaps her, defending her new manager. It's revealed in this little like short interaction with Ria Ripley that Robert Stone has signed Aliyah, and now he wants Ria Ripley on the brand as well. That plays up to like a match later on. They eventually does set up a match, Aliyah versus Ria Ripley. Then we get like a small vignette similar to the one we saw last week of Thatcher's Thatch Can style wrestling camp. I like this. Just, since you don't have anything planned in the immediate future for Thatcher, just keep hyping him up. I feel like this is what they were gonna do with the guy if they didn't just like sub him in at the last minute to be the replacement partner for Matt Riddle. Had that not been the case and the Broserweights were still a tag team, I feel like you would still have seen this like vignettes from Thatcher. And I think you just go ahead and build him up and then just re-debut with him in like 2 weeks or so time, like fully invested in his character. Let him flesh out more of his character. Let us know who Thatcher really is. I know you were feeling the vignettes last week, right?
Yeah, I was feeling it. It was kind of funny because like he was just literally just taking advantage of the young trainers that were there, and it was hilarious.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty funny. Like, but it's kind of funny because it's more so the fact that like you actually like feel for the people getting their limbs just torn
right
apart. Like you feel for them. Like, I'm sorry.
Like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. So following that, we had the next match. We had Santos Escobar versus Jake Atlas, and Escobar was accompanied by Legado del Fantasma, which is the faction name, which is roughly translated to Legacy of the Phantom.
Legacy of the Phantom. Yeah,
which is their whole shtick is they're trying to like build up the legacy of Phantasma. So the name makes sense. Shout out to Matt Ritter. He thought it was like League of the Phantom, and he thought that would be a better name as a faction, which I'm not disagreeing with him, but the name is what it is. This match was set up.
Agree to disagree, because I mean, like, to be quite honest with you, I'm all for both of them. It doesn't really make a difference.
For sure. I mean, and then for the most part, most people aren't going to know the difference anyway. So this match was set up because of what Santos did to Drake Maverick last week, sent to the hospital. Obviously, throughout the tournament, we saw the relationship that Jake Atlas and Drake Maverick had with one another. Jake had a great admiration and respect for Drake Maverick and what he accomplished in that tournament. and he wanted revenge for like the newfound friend he made during the tournament. Solid match. Both guys got some offense in.
Especially considering the fact that Drake Maverick has been, like, to be quite honest with you, that tournament has been everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Like I was saying, both guys get some offense in here, but it was pretty clear from the jump that this was Santos' win. Like, this is his first match since the tournament, since revealing himself as a heel. And I gotta say, the packaging of how they're presented, the Titantron, the music is different, the gear is a little bit darker, the way he wrestles, everything about him just screams top guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now he's challenging for the NXT title.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So Santos Escobar does get the win with the Phantom Driver. Solid match, pretty good, but predictable nonetheless. Let's go to one of my favorite spots of the night. We had Undisputed Therapy Session number 2. Roderick Strong is again with Adam Cole and Bobby Fish as he's being cared to by this mystery therapist. Wink, wink, jab, jab. We know who you are, Kyle O'Reilly. Roddy is appearing more confident, and he believes that he's able to conquer his fear, which is the trunk. They're like, yeah, we had a setback last week, but I think I'm better. I think we can actually do it. To help hype Roderick Strong a little bit more, it's like Kyle O'Reilly takes off the disguise and just reveals himself to the rest of the Undisputed Era members that he is
Kyle.
Kyle, that was you.
Kyle?
I loved how they sold it. And then as they're walking towards the trunk, like Kyle O'Reilly was explaining, like, you like it? I'm applying for like a movie role. You know, I'm playing like a crime scene detective, like therapist or something. I loved it. It was so good. I'm glad Kyle O'Reilly is back, even if it's
Give this man a gimmick, please.
Oh,
please give this man a gimmick. He's beautiful. I am in love with Kyle O'Reilly now. It was beautiful.
Would you agree that he's probably the best member of the Undisputed Era?
I mean, obviously it's still Adam Cole, but
I mean, success-wise, it's Adam Cole. But who do you like? Who would you prefer? Who's your favorite member?
I don't know if I really wanted. Well, to be quite honest with you, since Adam Cole like actually likes video games, I kind of mess with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But for charisma wise, it really showed me that that Kyle O'Reilly has some good charisma, and I might want to mess with him too.
For sure. Hey man, you guys can just spend some time air guitaring the entire afternoon. It should be fun. So like I was saying, the rest of the Undisputed Era members, they walk to the trunk of the car. They hype Roderick Strong up. Roddy gets in the trunk. They close it. And then they hype him like, yeah, Roddy, you did it. You conquered it. Like, driver, open the trunk. Pop the trunk. Roddy comes out. He's hype. He's ready. It's like, I can do it. I'm better. I'm good now. And then Adam Cole's like, yeah, you're right. Now you're strong enough. Now you're able to take on Dexter Loomis tonight. And he's like, wait, what? Yeah, what? And then he's like so confused. Everybody's like, yeah, tonight you're gonna beat Dexter Loomis. And you, as they walk away, you can tell Roderick Strong's like, fuck, I'm not.
He tries to buy into it, but then he's kind of like, oh man,
yeah,
exactly. I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, we had the following match. We had Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter taking on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. We got an official.
Kind of wish that I could have got more of that match. Mm-hmm. It was actually a decent match.
What I liked is that we got an official name for the new team of Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. They're called KC Express, and it's and if I didn't notice this, but both of their names start with K and their last names are C's, so K and C Express. I like it, simple, and it helps stack up the tag team division with the rest of the women.
Put the belts on them.
I don't know about that, man, because, geez, I kind of want a belt on either Raquel Gonzalez or Dakota Kai. Dude, I know as a big guy, you love this match, because Raquel Gonzalez was...
my God. That, like, oof. I found a newfound, like, I thought Raquel Gonzalez was, like, you know, super green, but she did not look it in this match at all. Like, she looked like she was doing her thing. So, Big Mama Cool, you know, we need to talk.
I'm just saying. She's pretty good. She looked dominant. She looked great. She could have won the match, but she decided to tag in her leader, her partner in Dakota Kai, and get the win via submission. But
I thought with that one arm power bomb, I thought she was gonna do it. I thought.
It would have been that. That would have been it. That would have been 1, 2, 3. But that insult to injury, she wanted to make sure that Dakota Kai got the win, even though she did the bulk of the work. But this not to discredit the new KC Express team, because they showed off some really good tag team wrestling, some good movesets, really good chemistry. They look good together as a team.
They look good. They'd be nice as regular team trying to get down with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they'd be good. Shout out to Kaden Carter because I'm sorry, she is looking great.
Oof.
Like,
damn.
Did you see? I'm sorry. Like, she is. Let me stop because this is wrestling. This is wrestling. We got. I don't want to be too. I don't want to be too sexist or anything like that. But she was looking good.
She looked amazing,
and I saw a lot of thickness in there. So I'm just saying. I'm a big guy, so thickness is my thing. Yeah. So
I'm just.
But saying. back to the wrestling. Back
to the wrestling. Dakota Kai wins with her submission move, which looks. I think it's the same what the Naomi does. Feel the Glow or whatever it's called, but I like it. It's good. It sets up and builds up Dakota Kai a little bit more. She gets in the camera again and once again calls out Io Shirai, saying she's coming for her. You think this is your NXT? Nah, this is my NXT. I'm coming for that women's title. And Raquel Gonzalez, being the good friend that she is, hypes Dakota Kai up, and she's like, future and next NXT Women's Champion right there. I like it. I'm excited, and we had a match set up. We'll talk about what's happening next week at the end of the show, as we usually do. I usually like to end things on predictions, given that it's our thing. But speaking of championship, speaking of championships, Jay, Belts by Dan, the sponsor of the show. Belts by Dan is a custom championship belt manufacturing, repair, restoration, and resale company started by the owner of BeltStock.com. Belts by Dan offers fully custom championship title belts identical to the quality of those used on television by major boxing, MMA, and pro wrestling companies. They also offer accessories of owners for existing belts, as well as resale of already completed belts targeted at high-end collectors. So just like my man Jay Thunder over there, if you want a high-quality belt, hit a Belt by Dan. Or if you already have a championship belt and a button fell off or like a stud or it just needs to be touched up, go over to Belts by Dan and let them know the Smack Raw podcast sent you. Thank you, Belts by Dan, for sponsoring the show. Back to the wrestling, though. We had Karrion Kross taking on Bronson Reed. It was a more competitive match than I expected, man. Bronson Reed from the started off the gate hot. He got a lot of offense in, way more than anyone has ever gotten in the match against Karrion Kross. This is the most competitive match Karrion Kross has had since he's been on NXT, and he actually had a match with Tommaso Ciampa, who he squashed. How does Bronson Reed get more offense in than Tommaso Ciampa?
Hey, yo, no, stop it. No, I love the fact that Bronson Reed got some offense. That is beautiful. Tommaso Ciampa is a shrimp compared to Bronson Reed.
I'm not. Okay.
Reed gave him the shits. That's what I was talking about.
So,
man, was. Oh my god.
I'm not trying to discredit.
I wish he would have won the match.
Look, I'm not trying to discredit Bronson Reed. I love Bronson Reed. I'm all about Thick Boy over there. He's my jam. I think he's great. I'm all for him. I just thought it was interesting that one of the top faces of NXT just gets squashed and destroyed by Karrion Kross, and Bronson Reed gets more offense. It makes sense given that Bronson Reed is the bigger guy. He's going to give him a little bit more of a challenge. But at the end of the day, Karrion Kross still wins with the cross jacket, and I want to say about 5-minute match, but they got a lot in 5 minutes. It was pretty good.
I thought it was great.
Pretty good.
To be quite honest with you, Bronson Reed was giving him the forearms. It was beautiful. I thought it was perfect.
I thought it was going to go a little bit longer based on how competitive it was, but it just ended abruptly with the cross jacket. Afterwards, we had an Anaconda interview and was asked who he preferred to face in his winner takes all double champion match in 2 weeks time. And Adam Cole's like, you know what? Most men would want to face the weakest opponents, like who they think they'll be able to beat easier. But I'm not most men. I'm Adam Cole, baby. I don't care. I don't care. He's like, I don't care who wins. I'm more concerned and worried about making more space on my trophy case for an extra championship. So he's very confident in himself. He's thinking he's gonna win.
Adam Cole is a little, he's right though. Being a champion myself, I'm kind of looking for something more.
Right.
Just this wonderful tag team championship. Don't get me wrong, guys. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I have this. This is near and dear to me.
Right.
But Big Boy's hungry. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Big Boy's hungry.
I feel you. Adam Cole is definitely hungry for more championships, and Robert Stone is hungry and desperate to get Ria Ripley in his faction. Next up, we had Ria Ripley versus Aliyah with Robert Stone in the corner. Like, nothing really to talk here. Ria Ripley with an effortless win here. Robert Stone did try to help Aliyah at one point when she was in.
Who throws the shoe? Who throws the shoe?
So, Ria has Aliyah in her submission move. I forget what it's called. I think it's Prism something. Robert Stone throws a shoe to try to distract Ria and break up the submission. And technically, that's a DQ, right? That has to be a DQ. Why doesn't the ref just call the DQ? But he doesn't.
Technically, I don't know. Like, how can you call? Well, to be quite honest, how can you tell whether that's a DQ? It's a shoe. Like, it'd be different.
It's technically it's a weapon. Growing up in a Mexican household, Jay, a shoe or any kind of foot accessory can be a weapon. I should know from experience.
I know. Yes, I know. Chancla is
I'm just saying.
A weapon of choice. It is a weapon of choice.
I'm just saying. It's one of many weapons of choice for
one of many weapons. One of many.
So after Robert Stone tosses the shoe at Ria Ripley, she chases after him around the ring, gets inside, tosses him, gets him out of the ring, and then Aliyah tries to capitalize, roll up Ria Ripley to no avail. She hits the riptide, 1, 2, 3, easy peasy, as Oscar says. We move on. We'll address it here just because it's all together. Robert Stone and Leah are shown backstage on a FaceTime call with Real and Regal. Robert Stone wants a rematch next week against Ria Ripley, and he's like, okay, you know what, we'll do the rematch. It's like, yeah, but if Ria Ripley loses, she has to join the Robert Stone brand. And then Rhea's like, nah. Rhea comes up, like, nah, don't worry about that, Regal. That's fine. Go ahead, agree to the terms. And then Regal switches it up and says it's going to be Robert Stone and Aliyah versus Ria Ripley, which I think is a nice change of pace. It's kind of interesting. Ria Ripley is a believable, women's wrestler that can just beat up just about any man. She can beat me up if she wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't pose much of a threat to her. So we'll see what happens with that next week. We'll talk about predictions once we get to the end of the show. Next up, we had Dexter Loomis versus Roderick Strong. And
I was going to say, before you got into it,
mm-hmm.
That might be something that they might put Ria Ripley in. They might just do they might he's trying so hard
mm-hmm.
to get Ria Ripley a part of the Robert Stone brand.
Right.
And it might just happen.
They
might just let it happen, because I think this is the third time that
mm-hmm.
they tried that Robert Stone has tried to get Ria Ripley to go to his brand after losing.
Yeah, it's almost 3 weeks in a row, if not a whole month now. Ever since Chelsea Green left him.
Yeah, so clearly I feel like there's something there.
Well,
to be honest with you,
let me ask you this: do you think Chelsea Green made a terrible career choice because she fired Robert Stone and she hasn't been on TV since? There were rumors that she might be called up to Raw or SmackDown, but she hasn't appeared on either brand. She hasn't even appeared on NXT. Robert Stone has had more TV time since then.
First of all, I haven't seen much out of Chelsea.
No, but I'm just saying, kayfabe-wise, like, was that even a good career choice? Because she hasn't even been on TV. She hasn't even had a match.
I mean, me personally, no. I don't think it was a good career choice at all. Like I said, like, I have a thing where, like, I've only seen Chelsea Green in, like, one match.
Right. I mean, I would personally prefer Chelsea Green to stay in the Robert Stone brand and then team up Chelsea Green and Aliyah together, you know, and make them into a tag team, you know, fully develop more tag teams on all three brands, especially since we have the traveling tag team champions and the golden role models, Bayley and Sasha Banks. I like the fact that they're just basically holding the fort down on all three brands. I think that's kind of cool. So, like,
I think that, I just don't feel like it just feels weird because, like, I don't understand. Chelsea Green was actually doing something with the Robert Stone brand.
I know. It makes zero sense to just like break them up and then now Chelsea Green isn't doing anything. I mean, who knows? She might just show up on Raw tomorrow. I mean, the following week. We don't know.
But the thing about it is, do what though? Like, do what?
I don't know.
Like, you have everybody on the main roster has stuff that's like set up for them right now.
Right.
Like, there is no, and this is just not me saying this just because I don't want people to move up, but there is no room right now.
There really isn't.
There's no.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see when we finally have Chelsea Green back on TV.
My bad for cutting you out. I had to mention that because I was like, why did Chelsea Green
it's to me, it's baffling to me. 'Cause if they weren't gonna do nothing with her, they should have just kept her with Robert Stone. So going back to the match, we mentioned Dexter Loomis versus Roderick Strong. It looked like we were gonna get this match. Roddy does come out, but he tries to back out of the match. But Bobby's like, no, come on, Roddy, you got this. You can do this.
Roddy.
You got this. Trying to hype him up. Do everything he can to help his boy. They get it all the way into the ringside. He still doesn't want to go. He finally gets Roddy inside the ring, and then he tries to leave once again. He can't do the match. The match starts. It happens regardless. But Roddy, I guess, wasn't ready to face Dexter Loomis, and he ran away. He fled. He took the count out. Dexter Loomis wins.
He fled the scene.
Fortunately, Bobby Fish didn't follow suit because Dexter Loomis goes and grabs him and assaults him and puts him in his submission move. And now Dexter Loomis sights set on Roderick Strong.
But it was hilarious, though, to be quite honest with you. I love seeing Bobby Fish. Mm-hmm. Like, he gets caught in the Anaconda vice, mm-hmm. and like he rolls down to the he gets to the outside, mm-hmm. and he literally rolls out, and the look on his face was just priceless. It was so funny.
It was pretty good. So let's look forward to next week. We have 3 matches confirmed for next week plus an announcement. So we have Ria Ripley versus Robert Stone and Aliyah. If Ria Ripley loses, she has to join the Robert Stone brand. Who do you like? You said, right? You think Rhea's gonna lose here some way? Maybe DQ or something.
Like, what's the point of this? You're not gaining any momentum off of going against Aliyah.
Right.
You're not gaining any momentum whatsoever. This is like what is this like the second time you've gone? This will be the 3rd time she's mm-hmm. going against Aliyah.
Yeah.
There's no momentum. There's nothing. Like, you're not gonna gain anything for going against Aliyah. You're not gaining anything at all. So clearly, they're putting her in this storyline just to give her something to do because of the fact that she's not in a title picture right now.
Right.
I don't know why she's still not in the title picture. Probably because of the fact that now Io is like doing big things now. So
that's why Io Shirai just completely took over that scene, and she just took over being the top face, even though she wasn't the face going into
for the time being until Io's reign is over with. They need to find her something to do.
Exactly. And speaking of Io, we're gonna find out what's the next thing for her to do because next week we have a I can't talk right now. Number 1 contenders fatal 4-way match between Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai. Jay, who do you got here? Like, who wins this fatal 4-way and challenges Io?
We got Dakota Kai, we got Tegan Knox, we got Candice LeRae, and we got Mia Yim.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's hard because, to be quite honest with you, I'm cool with everybody on this in this team. I mean, not so much Tegan Knox, because I mean, like, there's nothing different about her.
She hasn't been given like character development other than she was like a really good wrestler, gets injured in the Mae Young Classic, comes back, gets injured again, then teams up with Dakota Kai. Her best friend turns on her. She tries to get revenge. That's her whole story. There's nothing about Tegan Knox other than she has the shiniest wizard in all of wrestling. You know, there's not much to her. Like, I love Tegan Knox, but like RN specifically gives Mia Yim a lot of shit saying that she doesn't have a character. Mia Yim has more of a character than Tegan Knox.
Like, I get that. Like, I understand what she is. She's a baddie. That's what she is.
Yeah.
I get what that is. Like, she's basically taking that bad girl style, you know, that bad girl hood style, and I think it's dope. Not too many people can get away with it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Cool.
Okay, so while you decide and mull over your decision, I think it's got to be Dakota Kai to win here. Candice LeRae and Mia Yim, I don't think they're done with their feud. I think they're going to cancel each other out. I think they're still going to go ahead and do a program together. So that leaves Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai. I strongly believe that Raquel Gonzalez is going to come into play here. Maybe Tegan Knox is about to get the win, and then Dakota Kai gets the victory because of interference from the outside by Raquel, which in this kind of match would be legal because there's no DQ in a fatal 4-way match. So, and also, you know, play up the fact that this week and last week, 2 weeks in a row, Dakota Kai has basically called out and come after Io Shirai and claiming she wants that title. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Dakota Kai wins this fatal 4-way match and then gets the championship match the following week on the July 8th episode of NXT.
I mean, that sounds pretty good. I'm not too sure. It's kind of okay. So it's kind of hard because it could, to be quite honest with you, it could be Candice LeRae.
Could be.
It could be, considering the fact that I feel like in between.
You gotta go with someone, man. Okay. I'm a press you on something. Give me someone. Give me a name.
All right. So me thinking, and this is me thinking. So I was figuring that eventually Candice LeRae was gonna be the one that wins.
Right.
Now I don't know about this whole feud between her and Mia Yim. So right. that's the thing that kind of like that kind of gets me. Because I figure the Gargano way thing is going to keep going, which is why I figured that Gargano was going to win the title eventually.
Right.
I felt like that was going to be a thing.
I mean, it could still happen down the line, even though, obviously, we'll get to it once we get to the main event in a sec.
Well, I mean, me personally, we're not going to talk about that main event because they don't know about... Guys, you don't know. See, this main event is it. It is it is
all right.
Man. But either way, no. But I'm gonna go with I'm actually gonna go with what you said, Vince. I'm gonna go
Dakota?
with Dakota Kai. I'm gonna go with Dakota Kai because it seems like the logical choice.
All right.
So
cool. So we're gonna get through these last two things quickly and then go into the main event. We have a rematch, Dexter Loomis, Roderick Strong. This time it's a strap match. First time ever in NXT history we're going to have a strap match. This is going to be fun. It's going to be good. And it feeds into the story that they're already playing, that Roderick Strong is scared and afraid and doesn't want anything to do with Dexter Loomis. That's going to prevent Roddy from running away. It's perfect storytelling. It makes sense why you make this match.
Guess what, Roddy? You ain't going to be able to go nowhere this time, buddy. It's on and popping.
I think Dexter Loomis gets the win here. He got the win via count out tonight. He got a win on Roderick Strong a couple weeks ago, which kind of started this whole thing almost. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Dexter Loomis goes 3-0 against Roderick Strong.
I don't know. This might go Roddy's way.
It could.
It's a possibility. This might go Roddy's way, and they might end this feud will probably end, or it'll still keep going. And I feel like this and trust me when I tell you, I kind of want the tag team between Dexter.
I really do. I kind of want to do that too, but we'll find out shortly.
We'll find, but I'm thinking that Roddy's gonna win, so it'll prolong the
okay.
So when that happens, I'm pretty sure between that match, the final match that they have, Undisputed Era is gonna come through. Guess what's gonna happen? Velveteen's gonna help,
right?
And this becomes a thing,
For sure.
It needs to be a thing.
It's gonna, you know what? You're probably right. It's probably gonna be a situation where the rest of Undisputed Era comes out and Velveteen comes out to make the save, and then we slowly get that slow burn tag team between him and Dexter Loomis. Final announcement: the Great American Bash returns to NXT next week and the following week. So it's gonna be a 2-week event. It's
old red, white, and blue, baby.
Yeah, and it makes sense, like 4th of July is coming. 4th of July is coming around the corner, so it makes sense. Like the Wednesday before the 4th, and then the Wednesday afterwards. They're building it up as like a two-night takeover event. I like it, pretty cool. And let's get into the main event. Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, Keith Lee, North American Championship match. But not only that, the winner of this match faces Adam Cole in 2 weeks' time on July the 8th. And the winner becomes a double champion. So, I just want to go out and say Keith Lee felt like a superstar. He looked like $1 million. He looked like a pure force. The one complaint I have is that logically, even though they don't see eye to eye with one another, I would imagine that Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor will work together a little bit more to make sure that they eliminate Keith Lee from the equation and make this a singles match between the two of them. But they didn't do that enough. There was just like one instance where I think Finn had him in the chokehold, and then I think Johnny tried to get him in like a leg lock, but he was not budging.
That part was hilarious. It was literally just like, okay, so he finally gets Finn off of him, and then you see Gargano, and then you look at and you see Gargano on his leg like a damn dog, or like it's like a little kid trying to like take down a man. It was hilarious.
It was hilarious. It reminded me of when my little like 2-year-old cousin tried to like wrestle me, and he was not having a good go of it. Like I said, Keith Lee looked like $1 million. At one point, he picked both men up and tossed them effortlessly, I might add. God damn, like the way this match was it was like a slow crescendo, slowly built up. It got more exciting. Towards the end, you saw more big move after big move after big move. The match, to me, felt like Keith Lee was slowly trying to take it over again when Finn Balor looked like he was going to hit like the missile corner drop kick onto Gargano, and then Keith Lee pops up recreating the famous gif that he made a couple.
It brought back to the last encounter they had. Oh my god, it was beautiful. I literally like when I saw the camera and how he was pointed in the corner. All I heard was "Oh" by Morrow, and I was like, yes, they did it again, and I was like, yes, they did it again, yes.
I love the callback, and honestly, I had forgotten that when the first GIF actually came about, he did that to Finn Balor. I thought they had never interacted up until like last week. So that to me was interesting. After that, Keith Lee hits like a springboard splash onto both men. Very athletic. This guy, every time I keep thinking, there's no way Keith Lee can do something that isn't going to surprise me anymore. He goes ahead and does something that surprises me. It was so good.
It was beautiful. Like that match was actually, under the, I say the top 3 matches was probably that one is the top one.
Mm-hmm.
I give
that women's tag was really good.
The women's tag was pretty good, and then I'll probably give that third spot to Bronson and Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
probably give that third spot just because of the fact that like it was a slugfest. That's what it was. And I liked it
for sure. What I liked was that Spirit Bomb attempt by Keith Lee to Finn Balor, and then as he picks him up, Finn Balor reversed it into like a standing coup de grace. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, man. It looked amazing. You saw stuff like Gargano hitting the one final beat on Finn Balor. what else? A Big Bang Catastrophe to Gargano, and then whatchamacallit, Finn Balor goes and hits the corner drop kick onto Johnny, which lands onto Keith Lee, which makes Keith Lee fall down to Johnny Gargano.
Back to the tag team match between him.
Yes, a callback to that tag match. Exactly. It was a lot of callbacks, a lot of good stuff. That if you've been paying attention to their story and their builds of these guys,
I was paying attention.
Yeah, you were basically rewarded for paying attention. And like there was again too many fucking spots. Whatchamacallit, Keith Lee hits the Big Bang Catastrophe onto Johnny Gargano. He rolls over, about to do like a lazy, like tired cover. He sees Finn Balor going for the coup de grace, moves out of the way. Finn hits Gargano with the coup de grace instead. Keith Lee then capitalizes on that situation and hits Finn with the Big Bang Catastrophe. Gets the win. 1, 2, 3. Before we talk about what closed off, I just want to say I'm very happy and excited for Keith Lee. This felt like a very big win for the guy. And also, too, I didn't realize the abbreviation of Big Bang Catastrophe basically came down to BBC. I'm just saying, I don't know if that was intentional, but I was writing it in my notes. And I'm like, I can't put Big Bang Catastrophe. I'm just gonna like reduce it. I'm gonna just like B C, and then I'm like, oh, that's dirty.
So I feel at this point, I wish they just would have kept it as Big Bang Attack. It would have been. It was.
Hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure Matt Ritter isn't mad at all by the name change. I'm pretty sure he's all about Big Keith Lee over there calling his finisher Big Black Cock. I'm pretty sure he's okay with him calling it BBC. I think he's perfectly. I'm okay with it, man. I mean, if Keith Lee got it, might as well use it. You know. I'm just Anyway, the conversation's turned a little bit more into Smack in the Raw podcast and less Smack Raw podcast. So let's talk about, finally, after we saw a little bit of like the replays of the big moves in the match, Adam Cole comes out. He confronts and gets in Keith Lee's face, raises up the title. Keith Lee raises his title up. In the background, you see the Titantron change to the graphic officially in 2 weeks' time on July 8th. We get Adam Cole versus Keith Lee. Winner takes all. Dude, like, forget about who you want. Because I think we're in agreement that we both want Keith Lee to walk away as champ.
God, if he does not win, I would say this is a waste. Like,
I mean, if anybody should take the title off of Cole, it should be Keith Lee, right? This guy feels like a superstar. He feels like he should be like WWE champion right now, let alone like NXT champion. To be honest with you, it just like it feels right, especially considering the fact that all of this stuff is going on with the Black Lives Matter movement, and then on top of that, like not trying to get political or anything like that, but no, it's fine. That's not politics, man. That's just basic human, just human rights.
I just feel like at this point, Keith Lee has like shown so much potential in this business for years, and this is the payoff right now, man. Like, right. I feel like he if they're gonna do it this way, let him have both titles. That's cool. Like, it's not a bad thing at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with it. And here's the thing: you could always do a situation where he's double champion, and just like Seth Rollins or just like Becky Lynch, she had to defend the title, both titles on the same night, and because he had to do that, he loses one of the titles. Let him lose the North American title to Finn or Johnny Gargano in like a couple weeks, and let him be the main focus and build him up as the face of NXT. Let him be your main poster guy. This guy is charisma up the ass. He's an amazing human being. This man deserves the world. I cannot say enough great things about Keith Lee. I want him to be the champion of my wrestling promotion.
I would love for Keith Lee to be the face. He'll be one of the faces of the company ever since, like, you've had a Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if booked properly, this guy can be in the Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, John Cena territory. That's how good this guy is. He's great in the ring. He can work with little guys, big guys, quick guys, slow guys. He can work just about any kind of style. He sells for you. He can hit big impact moves. He gets the crowd invested. He has a catchy theme song. He has a catchy like chant that the freaking fans love to go. He actually has two. The Keith Lee whoop whoop, and he also has like Bask in his glory. He has two chants. If you have at least one chance in pro wrestling, you get over easy as fuck. Like I'm telling you right now, this guy should get the title in 2 weeks' time. I will not accept anything other than Keith Lee as my new NXT champion and double champion going forward. But with that being said, man, is there anything else you want to talk about or like mention before we sign off?
Put the belts on Keith Lee. All right, put the belts on Keith Lee. Like this. If this is the time that you guys are gonna pull the trigger, now is the time. Now is the time, because you know what? You're not gonna get at this point. The way that you guys are going, you're not gonna get that opportunity. You really aren't. This is the opportunity now to like. All I'm saying is that I'm looking at it from a money perspective too. Like, if you guys want to do this, now is your time to pull the trigger. And then, and then fan wise, and then like work wise, Keith Lee is doing his thing, and I'm happy for it. He is an inspiration to wrestlers like me. Like, to be quite honest, the big guys, like the big guys that can move in the ring. Like, he's an inspiration, and I wish. One day I want to meet Keith Lee. I really do, because you know what?
We were going to meet Keith Lee and then Corona happened. We were supposed to meet him at Evolve. We were supposed to meet him. We were going to talk to him. We were going to request for him to do an intro for the NXT podcast. It never happened. God damn it.
Like, it's just, it sucks because, like, you know, I inspire to be something like Keith Lee, if not something better. So, you know, it's great to see him, you know, doing his thing,
bro,
and actually being able to rock it over in NXT. I hope that he does great things in the main roster when they put him up there, because I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
eventually.
for sure.
But yeah, man, like I guess that's, I don't want to, you know, get too emotional or go too crazy on it, but this is, I'm really all about that Keith Lee life.
For sure. Before we sign off, the one thing I want to do is we try to plug the whole hashtag Smack the NXT hashtag. It hasn't taken off the ground. It hasn't really picked up steam, but shout out to Matt Ritter. He's always using the hashtag. We appreciate you. So we're going to read out a couple of your tweets using that hashtag. He says, karma for Damien Priest. He took out Finn. He got taken out. That's karma. Payback's a bitch. I agree with you, Matt. True. He also says Aliyah looks like a Chihuahua that just bit a Rottweiler. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And he also says that Timothy Thatcher is how he imagined Stu Hart in the dungeon would be like. So yeah, that's a fair comparison as well. He also said it's Malcolm in the middle of those two in the sheer guys. They're big. Oh, I get what he's doing. So we didn't mention it on the show, but Malcolm Bivens was right in the middle of the two in the sheer guys. Malcolm in the middle. I like the pun game, man. It was pretty good. He says Keith Lee is a motherfucking star. He could be the next mega star if they let him. Just how we were agreeing right now. Like, we all pretty good. Giant Gonzalez about to put the hurting on American Ninja Warrior and her friend. So he's basically talking about Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. And what is he saying? Bask in his motherfucking glory hole.
Bask in his motherfucking glory. That's exactly what
No. He said bask in his motherfucking glory hole. And on that note, we sign off the Smack Raw Podcast NXT recap episode. Go ahead and make sure you give this episode a download.
You know what? Oh god.
Wait, hold up. I don't like that you cut off your mic, your camera.
Like that one just kind of threw me off. I was like, I thought he just said bask in its glory. I was like,
No. Matt Ritter and the Smacking Raw podcast are just a little bit like they take our like TV 14 and they just go rated R or TVMA. They have no filters.
Before we get off, shout out to Aaron.
Yes.
Our homie. You know, he hasn't been here for the past 2 shows. You know, he's dealing with some personal stuff. Just, you know, he's in our prayers, and you know, we can't wait for you to get back here, man. It's like, seriously, we miss you.
Definitely, man. We miss you. We love you, and we just want you to like get better and just deal with what you have to deal with. It's rough. No one should have to deal with what you've had to deal with, but you're a strong guy. You're become one of our best friends, and the NXT Smack Raw podcast would not be the same without you, man. So we miss you. And we thank Matt Ritter for that amazing lines to close off the show. Make sure you go ahead and give this episode a download wherever you consume all your audio podcasts, you know, so that, you know, it helps our numbers and helps the algorithm and just lets us know you care, you know. In these trying times, it's good to know that people care about the podcast. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I mean, why wouldn't you? We worked really hard on this overlay. We have our beautiful faces on here. We have great merchandise t-shirts that you can only watch via the YouTube version. So go ahead and check it out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification. Like the video. Comment down below what you think about Great American Bash coming back next week for the next 2 weeks, what you thought of the main events, and if you want to bask in Keith Lee's glory hole. With that being said, this has been the Smack. We're gonna sign it off. This has been the Smack Raw podcast, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week.